we've been doing the commercial side of it about 3 years now, and that's been going actually very well. So what we do is, for the commercial things, like a Kismet, for example, our anti-spam service, or hosting on WordPress.com, what we try to do is create a model where 99% of people don't pay, and will never have to. But the small percentage that do support the whole service. Well, it's separate, right? So in Automatic, which is my company, I think there's around 35 or 40 full-time employees. In terms of volunteers on WordPress, I'd say it's around, call it 50 to 100, like really core people that work on it quite a bit. It's hard to say because 5 years ago WordPress didn't exist, right? So I'd say 5 years from now, I hope that it continues to be ubiquitous. I hope that we're able to really mature as a platform and adapt to how blogging is changing. Be it microblogging, different forms like videos, audio, what you're doing here, all those things. We really need to start to continue to be the best tool for that, just like we've been the best tool for people just writing text. It actually doesn't cost that much as you think, and it just sort of like, from a pure business point of view, if 1% of your users pay you, or your customers or something, when you increase your number of users, that 1% gets larger as well. So you focus on the 99%, making them happy, and then you try your best to serve that 1% that pays. Well, that's certainly very flattering, but yeah, those are completely arbitrary numbers. What does that mean? It basically means what someone would be willing to pay, which implies that be willing to sell. And particularly in this market, I don't think that's a conversation many people are having. Well, in the beginning, I didn't think about it very much at all. It was just sort of a day-to-day thing. I've learned a ton in growing WordPress. I'd say the most important lesson is probably how to let go. Because before I used to do everything myself. I was very much a perfectionist. And I've learned that if you let go, that's when you can truly scale. And that works on a lot of levels. It's been in the company, delegating, allowing other people to do what they do best and what they do better than me. With the community, allowing the community to drive development more, and not thinking, I'm smarter than them or anything like that. And also, I would say in direction. This sort of goes back to the community, but there's things that where WordPress is going to be in 5 years is not something I could imagine right now. Probably not something any of us could imagine right now. But collectively, the millions of users of WordPress will drive it in that direction. Kind of like a Ouija board, if you've ever seen one of those. And that's how I think about it. It's not pure crowds, right? But there's definitely an aspect of sort of a guided user-driven development, right? Where, like I said before, sometimes we're doing things that people aren't asking for, but I think they will be in a few years. And sometimes we're doing the most popular request. You kind of have to balance both, because you can't be purely reactive, because then you'll always be behind. But I think it's not that hard to create a hybrid. We're being reactive to people's immediate requests, but still trying to think out 5-10 years in the future about where the product needs to be. My initial impressions of India were, well, honestly, that it was quite smoggy. Like, I got here at like 3 in the morning, and there was like a semi-haze over everything. It was also a time, I guess, when large trucks are allowed to be on the road, and so there were just a million of these giant trucks. And I thought they would be like that all the time, but during the day there's none of them. But I didn't know that. Two was just like the amount of life, I think would be a way to put it. Just so many people, and everywhere you look, there's something interesting happening. Particularly we did the drive to Taj Mahal and back. And wow, I could have taken, if the car hadn't been going so fast, I could have taken like 10,000 pictures on that trip. Just so much random stuff. Like a fire under a truck where people are like gathered around, and a million of the things that people somehow fit onto the back of like bikes and trucks and camels and elephants and transportation. I think I found transportation really fascinating. I was talking to Omer, and I was like, man, they put everything on these bikes. I bet, they're gonna, they put a couch on it, right? I was just joking. Literally, like 2 minutes later, a guy goes by with 2 couches on the back of a bike. He's like pedaling. I guess they were moving, because a bunch of furniture went by, and I totally got a picture of him. It's on my site now. It's this guy and 2 couches. If there's 100 people at a WordCamp, I'll meet 20 of them who say they make their living from WordPress. And that's pretty special when you think about it. Across the world, it's probably many thousands of people, maybe even tens of thousands of people who derive their living primarily from developing on the software. And if you take it a step further and think about people just using the software, like Ohm to an extent, is using WordPress as a tool to do something else, which is create amazing content and sell ads, but it's on top of it, which is kind of neat. Where WordCamp's headed? What I hope is that anyone around the world who's passionate about WordPress can go to a cheap or free event local to them. That's sort of the ideal. And be able to learn about development, about how to be a better blogger, connect with people they might have only known online. I mean, that's really the goal of these. And to the extent that happens, it's working. And it's 100% community driven, because we only organize one a year. Yet there's, going to be 50 this year. So 49 of them are being done entirely by other folks. And, it's a real testament, I think, to Priyanka and the Delhi bloggers and all the folks who put this WordCamp together. It's really hard. It's like a couple of months of work to do one. So I have a lot of respect for folks who do that.